Warning, spoilers ahead. Cobra Kai is modern-day storytelling done right. Creators Josh Heald, Hayden Schlossberg, and John Hurwitz know how to make a family-friendly show just edgy enough to keep people who like that sort of thing engaged. And family-friendly it is, which is a bit odd considering part of the inspiration for this show was from the show Oz. The show picks up 34 years after the events of The Karate Kid, and it comes out firing on all cylinders. The star of this show and the man who holds it all together is this man, William Zabka, a.k.a. Johnny Lawrence. His co-star and ultimate good guy, Ralph Macchio, a.k.a. the Daniel LaRusso, is every bit as important as our bad boy with a heart of almost gold. I'm proud to tell you that I have detected no wokeness in this show. In fact, I would go as far as to say that they actually throw in some anti-woke awesomeness in this show, with two telling examples coming to mind. First and foremost is that awesome scene where they actually separate the karate divisions by gender. Yep, they have a boys and girls class, so that we get a lot less of this and a whole lot more of this. On a side note, having ordinary women with no superpowers beating the hell out of men who are not physically challenged or small boys makes no sense. Doing that sort of thing is just virtual signaling run amok. Having female superheroes with amazing powers beat the hell out of men makes perfect sense. See the difference, Hollywood? The second karate smack to the voice of wokeness is this scene where Johnny Lawrence spouts off a mouthful of woke propaganda in order to get an ultra-feminist girl to join his dojo, only to then be asked afterwards by Miguel if he knew what any of that meant, to which he ever so hilariously replies, "Do I look like I pee sitting down?" From Johnny to Daniel, Miguel to Robbie, Kreese to Terry, Tori to Samantha, every character holds true to form, and they do so without putting their audience down and treating them like the enemy. This show has heart, kindness, compassion, courage, conflict that makes sense, and in many cases goes back decades. Good versus evil, while succinctly explaining the background of each character and what led them to choose the path that they did. But you know what else this film has that so few films even dare to tackle nowadays? Logic and goodness. It dares to delve into the problematic, very real world, sometimes dark pasts of almost every character. It dares to show us how abuse, trauma, neglect, and bullying have influenced so much of what our beloved characters have chosen to, and at times been led to do. It's at this point in modern-day storytelling that so many stories go wildly astray and delve into pure nihilism to justify, move along, or finish out a storyline. That is where this show ever so brilliantly and daringly chooses to deviate from the norm. They choose to stay away from the futility and pointlessness of life storylines and instead dared to give us something that is far harder to write, deviates completely from too many shows in Hollywood, and conclusively builds up a huge and loyal fan base. Compassion, understanding, and ultimately what those can lead to: redemption. The most profound redemptive arc belongs to Johnny Lawrence and continues on with Robbie, surprisingly Tori, even more surprisingly John Kreese, who is perhaps the one redemptive storyline I'm not sure if I am in support of. But we ultimately finish off with a young, insecure, bullied boy who, like so many bullies before him, go on to bully others. And only after years of character development, hard-fought and hard-won lessons of what it means to truly feel, does he then get turned back to the light side and redeemed. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Hawk, whose storyline is almost as good and personally important to me as Johnny Lawrence. In the end, this show has the balls to do what so many others won't. It gives the finger to wokeness. It delves deeply into real-life issues that so many young children, teens, and adults have to deal with on an almost daily basis. Oh, and there's a roving gang of karate-fighting kids that have some of the best, funnest fight scenes I have ever seen in any show or film. It pays homage to its roots and properly passes on the torch to the next generation. You hear that, Kathleen? Do you hear that? It leaves me counting down the days until the next season's release, and ultimately it dares to leave us with something that too many shows shy away from: inspiration and hope. I'm Papa Jobo. Peace.